through chapter 1. If you haven't, please remember to read chapter 1. We are in chapters 1, 2, and 7 this week. And it's going to be very important that you do read the material, because everything that we discuss here will make a lot more sense if you're reading the chapters. So today we're going to talk about starting your career. And this is going to be the first session of many about your career plan. Before we get into that, I want to know, do we have any questions? Was everybody able to, I see most of you guys poking around on the LMS. We still probably have a few people that are going to be joining us that weren't able to join yesterday. So I will recap a few things from yesterday, but does anybody have any questions about yesterday in terms of the LMS system, which is what we pretty much discussed really? Please make sure, guys, that you are doing your attendance question as a small recap. In order to receive attendance in the online platform, you must submit your answer to the live participation question that I will give you each day after the session is over. And you must submit your answer by 12:30, or else you lose the 100 points and you do not get attendance. And for those of us that, well, firstly, even for financial aid purposes, you have to have attendance in class. So it's very, very important that you adhere to that. All right. All right. So whether you've written it down or not, right? Whether you've written it down or not, go ahead, George. I have a question.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, sir. Go ahead.
Just wanted to see if this class's curriculum is primarily geared towards finding jobs, or is there anything in it um, that kind of helps towards entrepreneurship?
That's a great question. And so I'm going to say one thing, and then I'm going to explain it to you. So I think you weren't with us yesterday, right, George?
No, I was with you yesterday.
Oh, you were. Oh, there must have been another George then. I felt like somebody emailed me. His name was George. Anyway,
Oh, I
so
did, but I
was
jumped
that
on.
you? Yeah, I thought so.
Yeah.
Okay. Sorry, I have construction or something outside my house. Um, so this course is geared towards helping you think through what you are going to do with your career. You'll learn, and it'll make sense in a few minutes. So, for example, some of you want to be entrepreneurs, right? Give me a thumbs up if you want to be an entrepreneur. I'm sure, we always see that, right? Exactly. Some of you are very interested in finding a really good company. Look at all those entrepreneurs. Hey, what's up? Really, a really good corporate company, and you want to stay there and work your way up to the top. Maybe you want to even be a top executive in that company, and that's okay, right? Some of us, maybe if you're in the VA program, you want to find a really good pet hospital and you want to work there. And the VA people in the building, some of you may want to do major contract work for the government, right? Everybody has a different desire. So this class is going to be about helping you to determine what that long-term goal is, how to structure it, how to plan for it, how to do research for it, and then what your next steps are going to be once you graduate. That's what this class is about. That makes sense? So I'll use a lot of entrepreneurial examples. I'll use a lot of, what we call intrapreneurial examples. That's people that want to work their way up through corporate America. But, it's not specifically about entrepreneurship, but I do use a lot of those references since I'm an entrepreneur myself. And I've taught business for many, many years. So, entrepreneurship is the cornerstone of America. 67% of businesses are small business. So entrepreneurship is very important. If you are interested in it specifically, George, feel free to, ask questions, interject, if you have any type of entrepreneurship questions as we go along. Okay.
Okay, thank you.
All right, sir. All right. So looking at the picture here, as I was saying, we all probably think about our finances, right? Some of us have to think about them, our immediate finances, but we also think about, okay, I really would love to be X. Now, what that X is depends on who you are. Some of you say, I want to be rich, whatever that means. Some of us say, well, you know what? I want to live abroad. I want to be able to, maybe I'm not from America and I want to be able to go back home one day. Some people say, you know what? Well, I really want to go buy a lot of land and have horses on it because that's my thing. You have those types of visions. Some of you have actually thought about how much money you need to make that vision come true, right? Some of us maybe haven't thought that through, but we have these ideas, these dreams. Well, you also have to understand then that if you have some type of financial goal, let's say it is to become financially wealthy, maybe that's your goal, then you have to know that your career path needs to marry that, right? You have to know that. Like you have to know that if you say, I want to be independently wealthy, being a teacher is not going to do it. That makes sense, right? So as you are thinking through your career plan, and also think about your financial plan, and you want to make sure it is in alignment. No, you don't want to follow the money. That is not what I'm saying. But I am saying that when you close your eyes and you think about what is my ideal lifestyle, what is my ideal just life in general, make sure that your career plan is in alignment with that, right? So what is it? Like I said before, career preparation, it varies from person to person, right? It's not about a job. I know many of us are saying, man, I'm trying to get a job. Maybe will be your first career job. And so you're really anxious about that. But at the end of the day, this not a job. This is a career. So what's the difference, Miss Taylor? The difference is you have to control it. A job you can't control. You go somewhere, you say, hey, pick me, I can do it, and you work, you stay, you don't stay, you go somewhere else and you go job, job, job. You have no control over that, right? You're just really kind of just looking for whoever will hire you. In a career, if you want your career to have traction, you need to plan it out. There is no secret to success. If I decided I wanted to be a doctor, and that's all I said, I want to be a doctor when I grow up. Right now, many of you will, the first thing that you're going to say is, well, girl, what type of doctor? What type of doctor you want to be? You need to narrow that thing down, right? And I said, okay, okay, fine, fine, fine. I want to be a surgeon. Oh, that's so cute. What type of surgeon? Geez, I want to be a brain surgeon. Okay, so, okay, you want to be a brain surgeon. What you want to do? We'll work on adolescents. You want to work on babies. You want to work on adults. Y'all giving me a headache, okay, with all these questions. But guess what? If I don't ask those questions, what's the chances of me becoming a surgeon? I don't even know what I want to do. I just know I want to be in a hospital. That doesn't make any sense, does it? Okay, I want to be a pediatrics brain surgeon. Okay, now you're talking about something. When do you want to be a pediatric brain surgeon? Well, you know what? I really would like to do it. I'm 21 now, so I'm hoping at least by 30 I can start my career. And then what do you want to do once you become a pediatric brain surgeon? What do you mean? I just want to be a pediatric brain surgeon. And that's it? That you want to be a pediatric brain surgeon and then you're just not going to plan the rest of your life, the rest of your career? You're just going to let it take you where it takes you? No. Oh, you mean I need to think about it after I become a pediatric brain surgeon? Okay, fine. This is getting annoying. I want to become a pediatric brain surgeon and I want to help people in developing countries that don't have access to information. Finally, you're getting somewhere, girl. Now I'm starting to see it. So you want to become a pediatric brain surgeon by you're 30 years old and you want to work in developing countries to help kids that don't have access to information, don't have access to healthcare. Did you see what I just did? I want to be a doctor. Okay. I want to be a pediatric brain surgeon by the time I turn 30 and work in developing countries with children that don't have access to healthcare. If I just said I wanted to be a doctor, what are the chances that I would become a pediatric brain surgeon working for children in developing countries? Huh? Anybody ever worked for a hospital before? Listen, are you a doctor? You got your degree. You don't really know what you want to do. You don't really care what you're gonna do. Okay, we're gonna put you over here. Man, what am I doing over here in the emergency room? I don't want to be in the emergency room when you didn't say what you wanted to do. You just want to be a doctor. You're a doctor. Go help somebody. Doesn't make sense, right? What you want to do, you have to plan it out. Why? Because if I can see it, if I can say I want to be a pediatric brain surgeon by the time I'm 30 and work with children in developing countries, what am I going to do? I'm going to set plan in motions to do exactly that. So I'm going to set a plan into motion to do exactly that. Am I not? So the chances of me becoming a pediatric brain surgeon working with children in developing countries is a lot higher if I have a plan. I'm not going to take jobs that are not related to that. I'm going to do studies that are related to that. I'm going to do research related to that. I'm going to network with individuals that's in that field, and I am going to work my plan. So my success rate of becoming a pediatric surgeon working with children in developing countries is a lot higher if I plan it out. Does that make sense? It sure beats. I just want to help people. I love children. What in the world? Doesn't make sense. So you have to plan out your career. So you may say, well, how do I get started? Well, guess what? That's where research comes in. There are a lot of career pathways. You can't just say, I'm in electrical field, I'm in the HVAC field, I'm in the pet field. Yes, you are, my friends, but you need to narrow that thing down. You need to pick a career pathway. So that means that you need to do some research. Don't just jump out there and start swimming, right? That's a big old ocean. Don't do that. There are a lot of different websites that you can go to. Two here that the book talks about is the U.S. Department of Labor. You can go to the Occupational Information Network. But thanks to AI, you can go into Google Gemini, Copilot, Chat GPT, and you can just put in, plan me out a career. I want to own my own pet mobile clinic. I just started my VA program. Plan out a career path for me. You'd be surprised. You'd be surprised. That's what you can use Chat GPT for. I want you guys to do that. I want you to, it's not for, you don't physically have to do it. I'm just saying, here's an idea, right? Try that. Maybe you don't really know where you want to go, right? And then go do the research based upon what the answer you get back. It's okay to not exactly know where you want to go, but you need to figure it out at some point, hopefully before you graduate, or if you're about to graduate within this next year, figure out what it is you're trying to do so you go down that path and not just any path. We all know that we cannot trust a company. Companies come and go, do they not? Businesses open and businesses close. You can't rely on that. You can't hang your hat just on working for a company. Even if you say, well, I want to be a corporate person, I really want to work at a pet hospital and I want to eventually specialize in dealing with terminal illnesses for domesticated animals, right? Maybe you had some pets that had a tumor. I know my dog when I was growing up, she ended up with a tumor. And so that was very, traumatic for me. So maybe that is what you want to do because you had a similar situation. And so you want to do that. And you're thinking, oh my God, I want to work for this pet hospital. But then something happens. I don't know, maybe administration takes all the funding away. And now you have to go find you another hospital, but your mind was so set on this hospital and you never even thought through, okay, well, maybe I need to go to California. Maybe I need to go overseas. Have you thought that through? So you can't just say, I want this hospital, but it's okay to say, I want to work at a hospital, right? So again, I don't want you to hang your hat on one particular thing. When you set your plan, the plan should never be, I have to work just for this company, just for this organization. The plan is, I need to get to my end goal, my long-term strategy, and I don't care what car I drive to get there, i.e., what job I have to take. If my goal is to become a master electrician and own my own business, then and I've decided that I want to work for a lot of different companies, a smaller company, so I can get the ins and outs of running my own business. I mean, I care, but I don't care. I'm not going to fall in love with that company or this company because I'm there for a purpose. I have a plan. I want to come in here. Y'all teach me everything I need to learn, me sniff around. And when I've learned everything I need to learn, I'm going to go to my plan. I'm going to check my box. And if my next step is I should be a supervisor within 3 years and you don't have a position for me, guess what, boo? That company over there does. And so if they have a position that says supervisor, I love y'all dearly, but this is business. This ain't personal. I need to go over there because I need to become a supervisor. You feeling me? I need to become a supervisor because I'm trying to own my own business in 6 years. I ain't got time to play. Or I'm trying to become a master electrician in 6 years and start my business in 10. I love you, but guess what? If you didn't have any money, you'd be dumping me. This ain't personal. You got to have a plan. So when you go to that next job and you move over there because they have that supervisory role, and now you get to see how project management works, because in the back of your mind, I'm starting to own my own business. I need to see how this thing works. You have goals. Go ahead, Tyrone.
I was just saying, like, with the careers and everything, like you said, you just couldn't jump out there in that water. You'll need like more research and everything for you to learn more about the job.
Absolutely. And also too, you need to know about your industry. Now, I am I almost feel apologetic saying this, but I transitioned into the IT industry. I'm still kind of transitioning into that industry, and I had to transition. I was in finance. That was my thing, finance and education. It did a very, very long time. But I saw that my field was moving into IT, and I really love STEM. I'm that one of those types. I really love technology. So not to the point of, yeah, let me preference that. I don't want y'all to think, oh, she's a techie person. No, no, no. I'm more of a data person. I love numbers, that type stuff. So I had to transition, and I did it because I saw that that's the way that the career path was moving. But guess what? I still had to do research. When I decided to transition into IT, I didn't want any type of IT and law, actually. I did my research to say, number one, which ones gives me the most money? Because, yeah, I want to be financially independent. I want to make sure my career matches my financial goals. So I needed something that if I'm going to spend my money on it and get into it, I'm going to make me some money. So I said, what is the most lucrative IT and legal that I can do? That was me. Don't judge me. That's what I wanted. And they said, well, ma'am, if you want the most lucrative, you need to become a patent attorney and you need to get into AI. Now, this is years ago, a couple years ago. And so, you know what I did? I said, okay, that's exactly what I'm going to do. So I went and did my research on AI. I did my research on becoming a patent attorney. I laid out my plan and I started working it. But if I didn't do my research and I was just said, oh, I just want to be an attorney when I grow up, child, please. Go ahead, Daniel. How do you pronounce your name, first off? Because I know that's not right. Is that right? Oh, it is? Okay, I was freaking out over it from yesterday. I'm like, did I say that man's name right? You want to say something, or your hand is up? No? Not sure. Okay. So where's my, one second, guys. I want to make sure I plug in my computer. So you that has to make sense, right? So when I did my research, and that's what I went towards, and that's what I'm going towards, right? Y'all can go ahead and congratulate me. I'll be graduating with my law degree in April next year. Go ahead and give me a congratulations. Y'all, go ahead on. You make me feel good. I ain't there yet, but I'm almost there. I'm almost there. And guess what? I'm old too, so anybody can do it. So That's what you have to do. You have to set your plan. And so, yes, for me, I did my research because y'all see what's happening in the IT industry right now, right? I know y'all don't care about us that much, but if you look, a lot of people got laid off. Did y'all notice that? But you know who got laid off? The people that are not in the right fields, the people that are doing, software engineering and networking and web development. Yeah, those people got laid off because those things are obsolete right now. See, I did my research and I knew those things were going to be obsolete. And so when my school was trying to say, oh, you should go into this, you should go into that, I'm like, no, 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 ma'am, no, ma'am. Not about to waste my money. So that's what I did. So, yes, you have to do your research because you also want to make sure that what you're getting into is going to get you some money. Go ahead, Bryson.
So basically, what you're saying is have a goal set in stone for like when you get in the career, and don't just go in the field hoping and get a job and stuff like
Please
that.
don't. That's called a dream. We'll talk about that. Yeah, stop dreaming. It's the real world. You don't want to hope and wish. You need a plan. Like when you go into that job, you have to have a plan, and it makes you more focused, right?
Right.
You're not going to be paying attention to what's going on at that job. You don't care about Sarah, Susie, or Bob. You are there for a specific reason. If you know that you want to become a master electrician, and this is your first electrical company, you got to, I'm here to snoop around and learn as much as I can. When the boss said, who wants to take on this new project? I do, boss. Oh, look at him. He's just trying to kiss up to the boss. No, I'm not, baby. I got a plan. I'm trying to learn everything that I can. And you can always tell the difference between somebody that has a plan and somebody that doesn't. Because those people that are so focused and trying to do something, that's because they have a plan. People, every other person that's walking around just, oh, what you doing for lunch? And those people don't have a plan. They just happen to have a job. That's not
Right.
you. That's not you. You are there for a specific reason. You want to know everything that the company is doing. You actually want to know how the company works, right? You want to be in the room where things happen because you have a plan. And your plan is not to be at that company. I don't care when they have the company picnics and we say, we are the world, we are the children. Okay, that's cute. That's cute. You're just trying to motivate me. But see, I don't need that motivation because I am self motivated because I have a plan. People that don't have plans need to be motivated. You don't need to be motivated. Your plan is your motivation. Does that make sense? There is
Yes,
no
ma'am.
secret to success. There is no secret to success. I know you see people being very successful. There is no secret. Their secret sauce is they have a plan. The only other thing that you have to do is prepare yourself. And that's what you're doing in class right now. You're preparing yourself. Prepare yourself so when the opportunity arises, you can take it. That's success. That's the definition. Look it up. Preparation and opportunity. That's success. That's it. There's no secret. All right. So, how do you start this career plan? Well, you need to write it down because you need to have a plan. It is a documented plan. You're going to write it down in pencil because it's going to change throughout your lifetime. You're going to have a plan till you retire. Because you once you reach that first 5 goals, then you're going to have another 5 goals, and you're going to have another 5 goals, right? There is no plateau to this thing. So get out of that mindset. Even if I do become a master electrician and own my own business, okay, that's so cute. You started your business. Now what you going to do for the next 10 years? Oh, so with my next 10 years of starting my own business is I want to be regionally known in this environment, right? So I want to be regionally known in Central Florida area, and then I want to grow into Georgia. So my next 5 years, once I start my own business, is to grow my brand, right? To grow my business brand. And that means, and this is where the business part comes in, right? This is why business degrees are so important, or you need to Google it or ask Chat GPT or go to the SBA administration and say, okay, how do I grow my business? What do you want to do in your business? Well, I want to be successful. What does that mean? That you dreaming, baby. Get out the clouds. What does success mean to you? Okay, so let me think that through. Okay, how much money do I want? There's that financial thing again. Okay, I started my own master electrical business and I want to focus in on residential. So I want to focus in on residential. I want to make at least $10 million a year with my business. Okay, how do I do that? Heck, let me go to Chat GPT and look that up. Create for me a 5-year plan as a residential electrical company making $10 million a year. It'll do it for you. It'll do it for you. I'm in AI, so I'm going to use a lot of AI references. Let it do it, the hard work for you. You'll be surprised. It'll come back and they'll say, okay, well, you need to make, and you can say, break it down year by year and do my startup costs and how much I have to bring into a sink into the business. We call that sunk costs, and tell me what I need to do. It'll give you that plan. I promise you it will. Then you get to decide, ooh, is that too aggressive? Is it not aggressive enough? Let me start something else, right? Let me adjust it. But you got to have a plan. You just can't start your business and then what? You think then life is over? No, that's not how that works. Once you get your 10 million, now you may say, let me stay there. No, that's not how life works, because there's people coming up behind you. You have competitors. Even if you just want to stay at 10 million, you have to have a how do I sustain myself, right? And inflation is going to kick your, you know what? So you're going to still have to grow, right? So your next 5 years is going to be, how am I going to grow from there? Does that make sense, guys? So your plan continues to move. You always have to plan. There's no such thing as not planning. So how do you plan? So first of all, you have to do what? And when you think about those steps, we call those action steps. But what I want you to worry about today, because I know some of you may be like, ooh, this is a bit overwhelming. You don't have to do all that right now. All I want from you is to think about, what do I want to do as my first long-term goal? Even if your first long-term goal is to become a master electrician. Your first long-term goal, if you're in HVAC or welding, is to become a what is it? What y'all, I forgot. What y'all call it? Anybody in that program? It's equivalent to some certification. I forget the name of it. Why y'all laughing at me? I used to work with those people. I don't work with them anymore. Well, any welders in the building?
You talk about your contractors?
But what is that certification you guys get? Is it just to become a contract? Don't you need some type of certification? Like an electrician, they need to become master electricians. What do you guys have to be?
Like
General
OSHA or EPA
contractor
or any of that?
license.
No. I thought you had to take some type of license. Don't you have to get
Yeah,
some type
universal
of
license.
Yeah, we need EPA.
maybe just EPA? Okay, maybe I don't know. It'll come to me in a minute. But let's say if I'm the VA program, and my goal, my long-term goal, I don't want to hear I want to graduate from Southern Tech. No, no. That's a short-term step. Your first long-term goal, maybe you say, I want to, I'm in the VA program now, but I want to become a VT specialist, right? That's a good long-term goal. So you become a VA now, you work in the VA program. So you may say your first step could be, I want to work in the VA program for 2 years. And then I want to go back to school to be a VT. And then I want to specialize in working with reptiles, right? So I wanted to be a VT working with reptiles by 2030. That's a goal. You see what I'm doing? But we're gonna practice that in 2 seconds. So some of us, like I said before, maybe we don't know. That's why we have to do our research. The book tells you in chapter 1 that here's the other thing. A lot of people say they want to own their own business, but do you have the disposition to own your own business? Do you have the temperament to own your own business? Do you have the discipline to own your own business? It's not for the faint of heart. So maybe you don't know. So we're going to ask you today to take a self-assessment. It's like a personality test let's see what the psychologists say about you and your personality and what type of roles would be good for you. Now, I know you're hoping that, I hope it's in alignment with what I want. Let me tell you, I've taken these personality tests all the way back to being in the military, and they would always say, you make a good teacher. And I'm like, I know you lying. No, they don't make any money. Not never. Not me. Who? Education. I like money too much. And look at me now. Every job I went to, it's Taylor, train this person, train that person. I'm like, what? Why? It's not me. Boy, I tell you what, And so, it wasn't me. What happened was it wasn't because I was supposed to be an educator. I just know how to break things down and show other people how to do it. That's my talent, right? Has always been my talent. I know how to absorb a lot of information. As a matter of fact, it's creepy because I like to read three books at one time. I can't just read three books. Don't no, I don't have ADD. Don't try to play me. I know how some of you guys are. No, I just like to read a lot of different books at once. I like to read a law book. I read an IT book. I read the Bible. I like to go back and forth. Yes, I have a lot of information I haven't used yet in my brain. Don't judge me. But when I learn something, then I can just explain it to people. And I always explain it simply. I'm like, man, this is all they're using all these big words. The only thing they're trying to say is ABC, 1, 2, 3. That's it. And I've always had the ability to do that. I didn't know it meant something, right? Because a lot of times when I read books, I just read it because I don't know, I just want to read it. And then if I ended up having to explain, and I fell into teaching, I promise you I did, right? I'm at a conference, minding my business, doing my finance work, and a school approached me and they say, have you ever considered teaching? Because I've been watching you talk to people at your booth. That's literally how I became a teacher. And so, but it started from having this skill set that people say, girl, you're really good at explaining things. I'm like, okay, whatever that means. Like, how am I supposed to use that? And so the self-assessment would always say that you need to go into research, you need to do something analytical. I was already in finance, so I thought that's what it was supposed to be. I knew I wanted to go into law because I could absorb information. And in law, you just have to absorb a lot of information. And so the assessment helped me, right? Now, it will confirm things for you. It'll confirm, yes, you're on the right path. And it can also confirm, like, maybe you want to consider doing something else. So it's nothing that you have to, say, oh my God, the self-assessment said I would not be good at owning my own business. Don't worry about that. But we still want you to take it because some of us don't know what we want to do and what our skills are, right? We're also going to talk just briefly too about how that is important when companies look to hire people. They're also going to be looking for those soft skills, is what we call them. So, what do we want you guys to do? We want you to create both a long-term goal, right? And we, in future weeks, will create short-term goals to go to that long-term goal, right? So, how do we do that? Well, the first step, you're going to take this self-assessment. It's in your assignments. I'll show you that in a minute. It's going to talk to you about all your different abilities and aptitudes. When we talk about your aptitude, what does that mean? Kind of like what I just said, it's your mental cognition. What do you have? What can you do naturally? Some of you have an aptitude for math. You have an aptitude for science. I have an aptitude for numbers. I have an aptitude for reading, right? It's just something natural. I don't know why. My first trip to the library was like the best thing ever. Don't judge me. I love being in the library because in my mind, all of that is free information and you don't have to pay for it. Like I could sit in the library and read every single book for no reason whatsoever. And I feel like somebody's giving me free candy. I don't know why. I've always been that way since kindergarten, so don't judge me, right? But it's something I just do naturally. Your ability is your ability to master a skill. My daughter has great hand-eye coordination. I do not. I tried playing softball. It did not work. I literally can throw my child something from across the room and she not even look up and she will catch it. It is creepy. I don't know how she does that, but she just has really great hand-eye coordination. She throws something at me and I feel like it's abuse. I'm like, why are you trying to hurt your mother? I'm gonna have to call the people on you because I'm not going to catch it and it's going to hit me, right? I don't have that natural ability. Some of you do. Maybe you know what yours is. Your personality also plays a part. Your personality also plays a part. Thank goodness. Now, it may come as a surprise to you, but I am introverted. I am introverted. You people are some of the few people I talk to. I don't talk to people. I do great when I'm teaching. If I have to teach somebody something, I'm really, you too, right? It's not just me. Exactly. right, Bryson? I can teach you something all day, but don't talk to me afterwards. No, just kidding. If it's one-on-one, good, but just talking to people in the crowd, that's not my thing. If I'm teaching, I'm talking. If I'm not teaching, I'm not talking. So I have the personality to teach. I don't have the personality to be social. Social, I don't know. Do I have any friends? It's okay. Don't feel sorry for me. I have a few associates. I don't have friends because they require a lot of it. They require a lot. I didn't know people like to gather. All my friends be like, you don't like talking to people. Is that a requirement for friendship? I thought once you got out of high school, you didn't have to do that anymore. Yeah, apparently you still have to engage. It doesn't work well with me. So we are going to have you. There's a personality test, like I said, you're going to take. One of the really popular ones is Myers-Briggs. We're not having you take that test, but it kind of talks about your personality, and again, it explains things that your test will tell you what you would be good at, the types of jobs you would be good at based on your personality. You definitely don't want to get into a career or go down a path and you don't like talking to people. What does that mean? Well, if you know you don't like talking to people, do you really want to go take a job where you're working in a residential environment? You have to talk to customers all the time. You don't want to be that guy. Everybody knows that guy, right? We know that guy that comes to your house or to fix stuff, and you're creeped out by him, and he's creeped out by you. It's really just because he's not a personality person. His personality is he's not a people person, and he just wants to get in and get out. But that doesn't work well in a residential environment. Y'all know what I'm talking about, right? Like he definitely should be on a commercial construction site where he doesn't have to talk to anybody. That would make more sense. Know who you are. Why put yourself through that drama? And a lot of things can happen. Now he ends up getting a bad score on his customer satisfaction just because he wasn't friendly, and that's just not his disposition. Why put yourself through that? It is important to know who you are. Does that make sense? I'm trying to figure out, why am I getting these Matthew and so big? Are y'all doing that? Let me see. I don't know why it's doing that. Anyway, right? So it's important to know who you are. Obviously, your values are going to be critically important. You don't want to do something that compromises who you are. You don't want to, go work somewhere or work for, and do something that, if you're in the VA field and you're working around hospitals and they say, okay, well, typically, we put animals down after so and so. If nobody comes to get them, you're like, hey, my friend, I'm not doing that. I don't believe in that. I'm not going to just deliberately, harm something just because we don't have the money. Maybe that doesn't work with your values, So maybe that's not something you want to do. Let's say you go work at an electrical company and they're like, okay, listen, these nursing homes, we have contracts with them. They're not paying the bills, so we got to go cut the electricity off. Now, I'm not doing that. Somebody could be connected to some type of thing for their health. Maybe that just doesn't sit right with you. So you need to make sure your values are in alignment with the companies that you are working for. Does that make sense? So you have to think through those things, right? Your goals as well as who you are as a person, not just because you're so principled that you feel like it wouldn't make sense, but also because you want to do well. You want to do well, and people tend to do well with things that come naturally. That's a fact. That is a fact. You do well with things that come naturally. So why even put yourself in that situation? Ooh, I need a job. I need a job. No. This is not a job. You have a career and you want your career to excel. You don't want to keep having to stop and start and have all these moments of aggravation just because you put yourself in an environment that doesn't work well with who you are. Because you have goals in mind and you don't have time to be playing around with that, right? Your first goal is to get this job working with a small company so you can learn the ins and outs, but you didn't take the time to learn that company. And so now you're working in an environment that you hate. And so now you got to quit that job and go find another one just because you were so anxious to find a job, you just took it. You don't want that drama, right? You got a plan. So when it comes to these skill sets, right? You know, if you're starting your own business, you're going to need certain type of skill sets. But guess what? If you're going to go and work at somebody's company, whether before you start your own business or maybe that is your career goal, they also are looking for skills and they want you to have both hard skills and soft skills. Yes, your technical jobs that you guys have, you're learning those skills. You know, you're learning how to do welding, you're learning how to do electrical, you know, data design, machine, you're learning all of that. But you also need soft skills. That's why you have to have these other classes that I know some of you guys are like, why do we got to have this class? Because you need soft skills too, okay? You also need to know teamwork and team management and flexibility and taking initiative. Maybe those are not things that you have naturally. Those are not your natural attributes. Well, it's going to be important if you're working on a project. You might need a little teamwork. And guess what? If you're working on projects stop and stall, they come and go. You need flexibility, right? Are you an inflexible type person or do you have a more rigid personality? Do you even know that about yourself? Don't put yourself in an environment that requires a lot of flexibility if you know that you're a little bit inflexible. That can hurt you, right? I interviewed a finance person years ago when I was up in New York. Me and my CEO were looking for a new finance director. And I loved the girl because she was ex-military and I'm ex-military. And she was being very, very rigid because that's how we do it in the military. And the military is all about competence. It's all about saying you're going to do what you're supposed to do at the right time, all the time. And so she was giving it to us. She was giving us, she was in the Marines too. So she was giving us that whole Marine Corps thing. Now, my boss, she's not in the military. You know, this CEO comes from, creative arts background. And so she was scared to death of the lady. And I was trying to give her signals like, girl, like curve it a little bit, soften up your stance. You're losing her, you're losing my CEO. And so, of course, the first thing that the CEO said was like, oh my God, I don't know about her. She just seems a little bit too, and I had to go ahead and finish the sentence. I said inflexible. Yes, that's what it was. She seemed a bit inflexible. Now, I know that she was just trying to seem competent, but she didn't read the room well, right? So being inflexible does not always work because my boss, you know, she's go to the left, she go to the right, she go up, she go down, and she wanted someone that was able to flow with her. So I knew what she was looking for, but oh well, my girlfriend did get the job. I didn't know her, but I'm, girlfriend in the military sense because she was inflexible. So you got to know who you are and what you bring to the table. And you are going to need these soft skills. And let me tell you this, in your first job, yes, technical skills are what they're looking for mostly. Most entry level people, you're not controlling anything. You're not, calling the shots. So soft skills are not as important. You'll always see them in the job descriptions, and we'll talk about that on Thursday. You'll see those technical skills first, and then you'll see those soft skills. Pay attention to the soft skills, people, because a lot of those soft skills has to do with what you're going to be doing at that job. If they say you need to have a lot of teamwork, you're probably going to be working on some type of team, and you need to think through: do I work well on teams? Is that going to be for me? If you have the fortune of having two different companies work for you, and one says you'll be working on your own and one says you're going to be in this team environment a lot, which one makes more sense for you for your long-term career as well as your personality type, right? Because you want to be successful. So you have to think through those things. Obviously, technical skills are going to be important. You need to know how to use a computer. We don't have to go through that. But what I really want to touch on right now is how to set this goal. Now, I said that you need a long-term goal, and I want you guys to all practice this with me right now because you are going to be doing it once we leave. This is your assignment for today. You need to set, I want you to set two long-term goals, but you just don't write the goal because I know a lot of you are like, how do I do that? So we are going to do it together. In order for the goal to make sense, what does that mean, make sense? It means that you need to be able to measure whether you've done that goal or not. So how do you know it that you've done well with the goal if you can't measure it? You need to be able to measure it. So what do I do, Ms. Taylor, in terms of measuring it? You need to make sure it's SMART. Let's look at this acronym. Take a second to look at this acronym right now. Read it to yourselves. SMART. Read that. Take 1 minute to read that. SMART. Look at what it says. Pay attention to what those acronyms, those letters stand for. SMART. You are creating a long-term goal, and that goal needs to be SMART. What does that mean? Somebody tells me what's happening on the screen. What does that mean when your goal needs to be SMART? What is it saying? It's saying that when you start this goal, it needs to be specific. It needs to be measurable. It needs to be what? Attainable, realistic, and timely. Who's in an electrical program? Give me a thumbs up if you're in an electrical program. How many electrical people I have? One. I know I got more than one. Let me see. I can't. I got a few. I only see one. How many electrical people I have? Give me a thumbs up again. I'm trying to see. I'm about to use electrical example. Okay. That's what I'm asking. Very good. Okay. So you electrical people, and everybody can help out, but mainly you electrical people. I use an example. What did I say? In my first example, I said I wanted to become a master electrician and I start my own business. Those are two goals, right? Now watch this. I'm about to make it smart, and then we're going to see if it passes the SMART test. As I'm doing this, you can write down your own goal and make sure it passes the SMART test. That way you can just turn it in and be done with your assignment for today. My long-term goal is to become a master electrician within 6 years. My second long-term goal is to start my own residential electrical company within 10 years. So I want to, in the first 6 years, I want to become a master electrician. And the second, from 6 to 10, I want to start my own business. Electrical people. Can I do that? Who thinks that's doable? Give me a thumbs up if you say, girl, you can do it. Can I do it? I can do it. All right. Now, let's see if it passes the SMART test. I'm going to do both of them at the same time. I want to become a master electrician within 6 years. I want to start my own business within 10 years. Are those goals specific? Did I state what I'll do? Did I state what I do? Give me a thumbs up if I did it. Okay, so I got an S. Let me see if I can get an M. Measurable. Measurable. Was it measurable? I want to become a master electrician within 6 years. Can I measure that? I don't see no thumbs in the air, waving like you just don't care. Can I measure it? Thank you. It's measurable. Whew, thank God. Is it attainable? Now, here's why I need my electricians. Is it attainable? Can I do it? Can I become a master electrician in 6 years? Or is that a pipe dream? Huh? Corey, you have a question? Or Matthew, I don't know if your hands are in the air because you're just agreeing with me or you have a question.
It's
You're agreeing with
very
me.
attainable. You just got to put in the work and effort.
Okay, so I can do it. Okay, so that means that my goal makes sense. That's what I want to make sure. So that means it's realistic, right, Corey? Is it realistic too?
I believe so.
Thank you. He just made me feel so much better. I want to start the electrical program. Corey believes in me. All right. So it's attainable and realistic. Now, did I put a time on it? I didn't say one day when I grow up, I want to become a master electrician, did I? That's a dream. Let's stop dreaming. It's attainable. So I just created a long-term goal, and let's just go back to the start my own business. I want to start my own business from 6 to 10. So within those next 4 years, I want to be able to start my own business. Can I do it? It's specific, right? I said I want to start my own electrical business. I said residential electrical business. So I can measure it. I gave it 4 years. Is it realistic and attainable, electrical people? Y'all agree? I can do it. There it is. There it is. I did it. I just created 2 long-term SMART goals. And neither one of them said, when I grow up, I want to be happy. When I grow up, I want to make money. When I grow up, I just want to feed my family. Those are not goals. I just want to finish my degree. What? Hmm? People want to be a successful basketball, baseball, football players. They don't just say, I just want to play basketball. No, what do they say? They say, I want to be the greatest. I just want to be on the court and dribble. That doesn't make sense. You understand? So that's what I want you to do today. You are going to create SMART goals, right? And the book, make sure you pay attention to what it talks about the difference between creating a ladder. A ladder, just you're just going to work your way up to the top, like we talked about if you want to work at a business, or a career ladder just means sometimes you got to go from one place to another, but you can still make your way to the top. So make sure you read in the book that talks about that. All right. So what are you doing today? Taking a personality test. It's going to learn a little bit about yourself. Read the assignment. It says what, once you're finished with the results, tell me what they were, and if you believe that they're accurate, right? So make sure you put that in your results. All right. Also, take your career plan. All you have to do for today is to give me 2 long-term goals. The book is going to give you very basic type goals. Don't give me those basic goals. I want career goals, because you need the goals to do your short-term goals and to do your summary in week 4. Make sense? Don't leave. I have not given you the participation question for the day. I can't believe people are leaving. All right. Here we go. Here's your participation question for today. I want you to list your top 3 hard skills that you think you have, unique to your career. And then I want you to list your soft goals. Those don't have to be connected to your career. Any soft goals you have. So 3 hard skill goals that are unique to your career, and 3 soft skills, 3 hard skills, 3 soft skills. So if I'm a welder, I may say, or let's say I'm an HVAC, a VA person. I know that better. I may say, technical skills is running a catheter, restraining animals, administering medicine. Soft skills may be what? Being flexible. Sometimes you have to go pick up stray animals in the middle of the night. If you're working for some type of rescue shelter, that's going to be part of your job. A soft skill may be having good teamwork and being able to be empathetic, because you got to tell people when their animal's not doing too well, right? So that could be a soft skill that you need. So what are your 3 technical skills that you think are most important for your business? And then give me 3 soft skills you think you have. Maybe you know that you are a patient person, that you're great with time management. Chapter 1 talks a lot about technical hard skills and soft skills, so you can thumb through that and see which 3 think really you.
Okay, ma'am. How you doing?
Okay. Hey,
can you be specific? State the question. I mean,
the
so we
question
can
that's on the
answer
screen?
and understand exactly, because you describe so much.
But okay,
So
let's
we
start.
are,
Can you, so 1 second. Can you see the screen?
yes, I see
I,
the screen.
okay, so I just want us to read it together. So what are you going to do?
This
You're
is
going to list.
all I'm asking, ma'am. Okay, so these are the questions because you describe so much. So we just have to answer the questions here.
Yeah, so let me just go back over it, because if you're having a question, somebody else may have it too. So let me just go back over it, okay?
They asked me, I'm sitting in the classroom and they asked me to ask the question because I'm the only one that could get on to respond. Those were the
I
questions.
understand, but yes, ma'am, but let me go over it for everybody, because there's 3 different classes, not just yours. So maybe somebody else has it too. So let me just say it again, okay? All right. So for your participation question, you're going to list in total 6 skills. 3 hard skills, technical skills that you think you have or that are unique to your career. So remember, some of you are in HVAC, some of you are in veterinary, some of you are in welding. So if I am in the VA program, 3 technical skills could be what? What are your 3 technical skills that are important? If I am in electrical, what are your 3 skills that you think are important, technical skills? And then give me 3 soft skills that you think that you currently possess. Maybe, and you can read in chapter 1, the difference between technical and soft, or hard and soft. Technical and hard are the same thing, so you'll hear me use them interchangeably. Soft skills and transferable skills mean the same thing, so you'll hear me use it interchangeably. What are your soft skills you think you have? Let me show you this thing again. Look here at this slide. You see how types of skills, you have hard skills and then you have soft skills. Even if you look over here to the left, you see those soft skills? Pick 3. I think I have this. You know, I'm a good listener. I'm good. I have take initiative. I have good motivation. Those are your 3. Now, your technical skills or your hard skills are going to be based on the field that you're in. What are 3 technical skills that you're learning right now that you think that you have or are important to your career? Does that make sense? So when you give me my participation question answer, you're going to say, my 3 technical skills that I think are important for my career are 1, 2, 3. The 3 soft skills I think I have are 1, 2, 3. Does that make sense, guys?
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
Yes, sir. Thank you. All right, y'all. If you don't have any more questions for me, I am going to let you go. Thank you guys so much for joining me. I really appreciate you participating. If you have any further questions, you have my cell phone number. Please feel free to reach out to me. Do not be shy. I know I talk really, really fast. You don't have to tell me. So if you don't understand something, do not be afraid to say, Ms. Taylor, let me give you a call. Let me text you, send me an email. Feel free, okay? All right, y'all. Enjoy the rest of your day.
Yes, ma'am. You have a good day.
You too. Thank you so much.
Have a good one.
You too, sir.